shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. This man, he's not human.
Universal Pictures presents Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home.
Who is it?
There was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that wasn't even remotely human.
This is some kind of a joke. I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
Janet, go tell Mr. Garrett we're having trouble with the phones.
There is no place to hide. He will always find you.
What's this? It's a Celtic word. It means the Lord of the Dead.
Mr. Garrett?
Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home.
10 years ago, on the night of October 31st, a small Midwestern town fell victim to an escaped killer. Under the cover of darkness, he carried out the most horrifying mass murder on record. 16 people in cold blood. Ever since that night, no one has forgotten his name. And Halloween has never been the same.
Michael Myers has escaped from Richmond. He's here in Haddonfield.
That's impossible. Michael Myers is an invalid.
Do you know what today is? Do you know the date? 10 years ago, he tried to kill Laurie Strode. Now he wants her daughter. I tell you, Michael Myers is here, in this town!
Somebody help me! Help me!
Yeah, this is Ben Meeker, sheriff over in Haddonfield. Our phone and power lines are down, and we have a killer running loose in the street. Michael Myers.
How can a man do this, Loomis?
You're talking about him as if he were a human being. That part of him died years ago.
Apocalypse. End of the world. Armageddon. It's always got a face and a name.
The Nightmare Man. He's come to get me, Rachel.
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Happy early Halloween, everybody. I am Chris C., also known, of course, as Black Glove Reviews. I am joined by my slasher brother over there, Darren from Subjective Perspective Collective. This is Slasher Stream 14, Halloween. We are talking about two bangers tonight. That, of course, is Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home, and then, of course, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. First off, Darren, how you doing?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Looking forward now to the coming days, and the Halloween will be upon us. Yeah, and then you get Christmas then you straight after, and you got to run into all that. So good times, man.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a fun one. So yeah, we're doing our Slasher Stream 14, many more to come. Of course, many more Slasher Streams to come, but we're talking about Halloween 2, of course, and then we're talking about Halloween 4, Halloween 2 from 1981. But first off, Darren, your thoughts on these two films, particularly in the franchise?
Right. So, yeah, I was just saying to Chris off camera that even though I agree that Halloween, the original, is by far the best film of the series, my favorite is actually Halloween 2. So going back to this, and I've not been back to these two films in years and years, actually. So it's a pleasant surprise, certainly with part 4 this time. But no, I grew up with these. These are always, you'd go into the video shop, early 80s, always certainly the first 2 Halloweens, always in there, and they had several copies of them as well. And I noticed watching them this time round, these 2 films in particular, they've got kind of like a Friday the 13th feel to them. Certainly the second one.
Yes.
I even picked up a little bit in part 4 as well. But yeah. I mean, I love it. There's certain parts of this series I love.
Oh yeah.
We'll come into that because I'm a big fan of part 6 as well. Yeah.
Like a lot of people are. I have to revisit part 6. I mean, that film is all over the place, but I seem to like films like that. Yeah, tell you the truth. Yeah, like say Halloween 2 for me, it's my second all-time slasher. The only one, of course, above that is Friday the 13th, the OG for that. I mean, this film was done, of course, in the age where slashers were very big. Of course, you have this directed by Rick Rosenthal. There's a lot of hoopla going around behind the scenes for this of what the story was originally going to be like. Of course, that always happens. We know John Carpenter with a lot of these horror directors in general don't do sequels. They just don't. Just want to try kind of something different. But what came out of this is a banger. First off, I mean, the budget was $2.5 million. It doubled that, $25.5 million worldwide. I'll straight up tell you my score for Halloween 2. It's a 9 out of 10. Nothing is perfect. Nothing. I mean, like I say, and we'll get into that when we discuss this film too. And of course, Halloween 4 is really the return of Michael Myers and the return of Donald Pleasence. He was in all the Michael Myers films, leading up to 6, which is the year he passed away in 1995. I remember that. It was during the Oscars. And they showed his pictures in memorandum, and I'm like, diving into that. I'm like going, oh, that's the dude that played, Dr. Loomis in the Halloween franchise. Great actor in general, blue eyes, steely blue eyes. You know what the deal was. Great actor, may long rest in peace. These are my versions of Halloween too. So I plan on getting more. Definitely, it's how much I love the film. So I have the DVD here of this one.
Oh, nice.
Quite years back and stuff like that. This is like one of the coolest posters ever. It's really good like that. Of course, there's this one that was released in 2011. This one has the Tear in the Aisles feature on it.
That's the reason I have got that one actually. Yeah.
Also, my man Aaron from a Cult of Cinema mentioned that there's some controversy behind this one because the opening to the film doesn't mention Mustafa Akkad. Doesn't say Mustafa Akkad presents. I'm going to need to check that out. A lot of people are annoyed about that. So there's this one. A good buddy of mine from work got this for me for, I think, Christmas, or my birthday back in the day. This is a cool release just to get it for Tear in the Aisles, which Don Pleasance is in, as well as Nancy Allen. And of course, this is a launch Scream Factory title. This put them on the map, and Halloween 2 and stuff like that. This is a great release. This is the release I watched for this one because I've seen the other releases and stuff like that too, but there's something about this release because this has horror, hallowed grounds, and all this other stuff too in there. And it's a good one, and it has of course, Mr. Slippy did the documentary on this one in general anyway. So it's a good watch. I definitely recommend it as well.
I think that's literally what they upgraded with the Blu-ray set.
Yeah,
so everything on there is on here as well.
Yeah. Then of course, this one, of course. When Scream Factory released their side loaders and stuff like that, that's a great picture. They all kind of line up together if you put them side by side, which I always really like. Really cool, badass release. And I've watched this version too and stuff like that. This is the best transfer. This is the best version to get of this film for now. This is a great transfer. Yeah, the 4K transfer. This is terrific. It looks damn good. So I'm highly impressed with it. you got those. And we have some people here in chat coming in to say hi. Really appreciate it. We have Drake Loves Movies. What's going on, Drake? Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. I really appreciate it. Then, of course, we have a man, Russell, here. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. I like the profile picture, my friend. It looks really, really cool. And we'll just get down into this. Of course, this is going to be a fun one. We have a lot to talk about with these two films. So we're going to start out with, of course, with Halloween 2, 1981, directed by Rick Rosenthal. By the way, this was the biggest of these films horror that came out at the time. So this is the films that they beat in the box office for money-wise. The Howling, Friday the 13th, Part 2, The Final Conflict. The Final Conflict I have not seen. Have you seen that one, Darren?
That's The Omen, yeah? Omen, is it?
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, The Omen 3.
All from 1981, and this little film beat that because it was the return of really an iconic character, and what a lot of people would think specifically with the ending that this would be it and stuff like that. But that's a Halloween 2. So yeah, like I say, directed by Rick Rosenthal. Of course, Deborah Hill, John Carpenter were the writers for this. Deborah Hill was on set telling the actor that plays the Shape, Dick Warlock, how to walk and stuff like that. She famously kind of said he kind of walked maybe a little bit too slow. They're shades of the Terminator that would be made like a couple years later. The way Arnold walks, the way he acts. It's I love Warlock's performance as Michael in this one. I really do. He's using the same mask that Mr. What's his name, the original Michael Myers used. They let them use that. There's a famous story. He came in with that original mask, put it on first for the director, stayed up there and stuff like that. Then he took the mask off and he says, "Hey, hi, can I play the part?" And sure enough, the rest is history. So it's a very good one. Of course, we have Jamie Lee Curtis coming back as Laurie Strode, and that's a wig she's wearing, by the way. She cut her hair.
That's the worst wig in cinema history.
Yeah.
Actually.
You have, of course, the very late great Donald Pleasance coming back as Sam Loomis, Dr. Sam Loomis. You have Lance Guest as Jimmy, and then, of course, I mentioned that Dick Warlock as the Shape. So it's very it's a great one, Darren. Go ahead and start us off, or with any additional info, which I'm sure you have on this film.
Right. So Rick Rosenthal. People don't know him because he came back to the series Halloween Resurrection. 2002. He did The Witches of Eastwick, 1992. He did a kick-ass prison film with Sean Penn, Bad Boys.
Oh, he did do Bad Boys. That's right. I have that film. Great film.
Yeah. But in terms of cinematography, I think you went through it. Music, Alan Howarth. I think the score to this, where it's quite obviously the same kind of theme from the original, but he's put his own spin on it. It
sounds like Goblin to me. It really does. I think they got that idea from Goblin. It just works. Yeah.
I don't know what he did to it. He tinkered a little bit with it, but it just works. And I feel the same about Part 4 as well. I think that's Howarth too. But no, what can you say about this one? You got Pamela Susan Shoop. She plays a nurse. She gets topless. I think we all love that.
She does.
I think Warlock.
She was very hesitant to do that, but the actor that played her boyfriend in this owed it to Carpenter and stuff like that. So.
Leo Ross.
The two of them, and the director talked to him and stuff like that. Can you talk to her and stuff like that? Because I get it. I mean, she's a beautiful lady, make no mistake. But I can get that. You're showing those things to add to of what it was. That's what Carpenter wanted to add, because that's way we're way early into the slasher boom, and they wanted to see, beautiful topless ladies. They wanted to see violence, and we get good kills in this film specifically. But the actor calmed her down and stuff like that. It'll be okay. It'll be really quick and stuff like that. And it's one of the best kills we'll get to ever for a slasher film.
So
definitely.
This one's coming off the back of Friday the 13th was so successful a year earlier, same year as Friday the 13th Part 2. Dick Warlock, is definitely, I think, the best Shape. He's amazing. I think he's amazing. I know people think Nick Castle, the original.
Yeah, Nick Castle. Thank you, because he was because they asked him to play this part, but he was becoming a director. Quite good one, by the way. How about that?
Yeah, he did a weird slasher called Assassination: The Tag Game.
Yes.
Which is really hard to get hold of. I got like an old VHS of that.
Yeah.
But you got Leo Rossi as well. He plays the kind of sleazy worker in the hotel. He's also in one of the best, that death scene that you mentioned that we'll come on to.
That's the thing. The original idea for the film, it was going to take place in a high-rise apartments. How about that? Because I don't think that's been done with a proper, you can say, slasher. It's been done in giallos, of course, but not in apartment. That would be very interesting to see a Halloween Michael Myers film done in an apartment, high-rise wise. That'd be very interesting how that would have worked out. So yeah, kind of really cool stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, we got the high-rise apartment in Demons 2, didn't we? And then
yes, we did. Which I like a little bit better than the first film. But
yeah, I mean, that's another one. I love Demons, but I actually prefer Demons 2. Even though I know it's not the best film. But anyway, so yeah, I know Jamie Lee Curtis just hated the fact that they, kind of, she had to wear a wig. I don't think she really wanted to do this, but she was contracted to do it, I believe.
Yeah, because it's the same night. They even say it's 1978, and we'll get to some other stuff here where they get how many years old he is kind of wrong. But we'll get to
lots
that.
Of continuity.
Yeah, there's a lot of continuity issues in here, Billy. I mean, I tell you, it's really funny, to tell you the truth, but yeah.
Carpenter famously wrote this in like a week, and he was on, I think it was tequila or something he was drinking.
Yeah.
With Deborah Hill, they holed themselves up in a hotel and pretty much wrote this in 7 days.
There's always issues too, because you're obligated to certain studios, and you know what I mean, and stuff happens.
She hated the storyline as well that we get later on with the niece.
They re-edited a lot. Both of them re-edited a lot of stuff. Props to Deborah Hill, man. She was the better part of that twosome for those two, in my opinion. Without her, John isn't going anywhere in the business. Because like I said, she was literally on set. She was on set for, teaching Dick Warlock how to act, how to do this part and stuff like that. Because she's heavy the writer. Like I say, you don't get films like this or Christine without her. So yeah, it's very cool.
She would have, if she'd have stayed at, obviously she tragically passed away. I think she was diabetic and what have you. But if she'd have carried on, there's no denying she would have gone on to make. I think she would have gone on to produce a lot more films. Great films. But just going into this one, So obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't really happy with the fact that she was like now his sister. She turned around and she said, "That's a fucking absolutely terrible idea. I don't know."
There's a dream sequence in here that makes no sense that she happens to have that and stuff like that. And they did this really quick on the fly. I get that. Where the nurse tells Loomis the whole story about him, but it's a typical 80s type of a thing, it seems. So I'll let him get away with that for the most part.
Right. So the opening, so we got to mention Mr. Sandman, the song by the
Yes, it's iconic. It was perfect for this film. It
certainly is. That was actually made in 1954.
Yeah.
The record. But what you do is you get like the recap at the ending of the first, pretty much. And we kind of then jump to October.
That's where you see the Friday the 13th Part 2 kind of references, or not really references, but you can see since Part 2 came out, you've seen that they would use that later on with the other Friday the 13th films.
Exactly
that was the first to do this. Since it's the same night too, it works. It works the same. I almost thought this was done in Canada. No, that's part 5. This one was done in Los Angeles. I'm thinking of the other film. This was done in Los Angeles areas and stuff like that too. It was also done in a hospital that no longer exists. So which is kind of crazy. Sean Clark went to that place anyway. Horror's Hallowed Grounds is like flipping terrific if you're horror nerds like ourselves. So it works out
this
pretty
was
cool.
Shot in the spring of 1981. So they had to do the same things they did with the original. They had to paint the leaves green.
Spring to summer slasher for Halloween. How about that? Yeah.
Which is even worse in Part 4 because they filmed that and they had like an incredible snowstorm at the time they did Part 4. But anyway, right, so you've got the opening October the 31st. We jump to 1978, Haddonfield, Illinois. Michael Myers is shot by Loomis. He falls from a balcony. This is the original.
He says 6 times. He says six
Yeah,
times. You hear another shot in there. If you really want to be nerdy with it, you hear another shot. It's pretty cool where they show that scene almost shot for shot when he shoots him, and then you see him falling out from the other side. You see him falling out the balcony. I really like that.
And then he disappears as ever.
Yeah, then he disappears. Yeah, you see no blood on the thing.
So you've
because
got
he looks out at first. That's what he does. He looks out.
Yeah.
And he sees he's no longer there. Then he comes down and stuff like that. And then you see kind of like the time skip difference a little bit, which is fine. I'll let him get away with that. So.
And you can kind of see the influence in Friday the 13th Part 5 as well, where you've got Jason just turns up in visions, then disappears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's definitely these two kind of series are linked. So you got the credits. The credits are kind of like, it's great the way they do the credits with the skull. You've got the pumpkin kind of breaks open. You've got the skull. I love the actual soundtrack I just mentioned. So you've early on then, right? So we kind of get this pumpkin and it breaks open. You see this skull, and the very first shot is through the eye of this skull.
Yes.
It's such a great shot.
No, it's a great opening. Like you said, he's like, I've been trick or treated to death tonight, and it's like, you don't know what death is, and that's when just the theme just starts, and it's so good.
Oh man, yeah, it is so good. You got a POV of Myers, then he's like wandering the neighborhood.
Yes, that's where.
Yeah,
that's where I think it harkens back to a newer slasher, which is very controversial to most. I do like it. That's in a violent nature, where you see it from him, right? You see the third person shot, right? You see him on the side, right? When the woman when the young lady Alice first he goes into that house where the old lady and her husband are at. Husband's watching Night of the Living Dead, which is a property under Universal at the time, their parent services, and that's where the scream starts, and that's when the Alice character comes out. And I knew she looked familiar, and let's see, Anne Brunner. Brunner played Alice. Now she looked familiar because she was in films like in series like Charlie's Angels and some other stuff too. I was almost thought she was she has that facial feature that looks like she was in a women's prison film, but I'm thinking of somebody else. So it's kind of cool to see that. Also, real quick, when she gets a call on her phone from her friend, that's Nancy Loomis on the other line playing her friend from the first one, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I always love the shot where he's stalking the elderly couple and he pinches a knife, like you said.
First, you hear the dog bark, and he
right,
and he like that. I just love it the way he's walking. Right, he pauses. It's a great scene when Alice goes out the door and he stops. Right, and he just goes like this. She can't see him. We can, but she can. I love stuff like that. It's crazy.
And she's just been told there's like this killer's like escaped lunatics on the loose. I like the news flash as well in the elderly couple's house.
Yes.
They just during Night of the Living Dead, it just comes up this news
They're
flash.
coming to get you, Barbara.
Escaped lunatic on the loose. So yeah, I mean, you've got the kill of Alice, like you say. Then we start getting into the Laurie Strode character again. She survived the previous night. She's taken to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. You've got the scene with the little kid with the razor blade.
Yeah, that was going to be used. They wanted to use that for a TV series, kind of like what they did with Friday the 13th. It was kind of like a stepping stone type of an episode. They kind of wanted to do kind of stuff like that too. Yeah, it's a razor blade. He gets stuck in his mouth, and they show that from the side.
It looks pretty. I'm sure that kid would have been freaking out a lot more than what he was in the scene. But
they definitely gave him meds or something like that.
Oh yeah, and we mentioned like Jamie Lee with the worst blonde wig in TV history.
Yeah, they tried to wet it down. It looks like and stuff like that to make it seem not
terrible.
So puppy wise and what have you. So.
Yeah, it looks awful. But so you got Dr. Loomis now and Sheriff Lee Brackett. They're on the lookout now for Myers. They stupidly mistake this one kid, Ben Tramer.
17 years old. They find out later. Well, it's like they tell him to stop, and then one of the deputies just slams into him, and then the whole thing. This is good practical effects in this, man, and just it's that and blows up and stuff like that. And you see him like on fire. Is it him? Is it him? I don't know. That's when the other police come to say you need to go to the house and stuff like that. One of those people is Annie, his daughter in the film, so they go and just do that. That's a good scene there too.
And it's quite clearly not Michael Myers as well. It always makes me laugh a little bit, which they kind of ape that in a few of the sequels. Certainly the last couple where you got the Danny DeVito, I think it's Halloween Ends, where he's running through the hospital. And it's quite clearly not Michael Myers, and they're all shouting, "Look, it's Michael Myers."
Yeah, look, there's Michael Myers,
Yeah, so the dead bodies then, they find the dead bodies of Annie, Linda, and Bob from the first film. They're discovered at the Wallace house. You got the paramedic Jimmy, played by Lance Guest. People will know him through Jaws 2, I believe.
Yep.
I think he was on TV shows. And
he was on TV shows. Good looking cat too. He does he does a stunt in this film, which they did in one shot. We're going to get to that. Very good. Yeah.
But he takes a liking to Laurie. She's in, in the hospital bed. She's all groggy and shit. And he kind of like befriends her and asks her, does she want a Coca-Cola and all that. But so you see then Sheriff Brackett then sees that his daughter Annie was the one who's been killed. And he starts to blame Loomis. And then he goes off the case a little bit and he leaves Deputy Gary Hunt to take over the kind of manhunt.
Yeah.
You still see those shots and some of the best shots in the film.
That's when he says he's like going, I'm going to need an autopsy report. I need a dentist. We can check his teeth and stuff like that. That's where they go there. You see just the burnt up, crisp body of the dude there. It finds out something like that. That's when they find out later that it was Ben Tramer, which is mentioned, of course, in the first film and stuff like that. The one that Laurie Strode likes.
The crush
and it's like going, oh shit. So it's like he's still out there, and they're taking this very seriously for the most part. They're saying we have to find this dude big time.
But
there's good shots because there is a shot when he's walking after the thing, and then there's that road and stuff like that, and that's when the sheriff picks up Loomis, and you hear him say, "I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times." Right, and he just stops and he waits, dude. How good is that?
I think I was just about to say. So the shots of Myers still stalking the area are some of the best, man. Because see
best in history.
Yeah, like all foggy streets and shit, and he comes out of nowhere and
all nighttime.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to keep on about it, but it does kind of remind me a lot of Jason Voorhees, man, in certain shots.
Yeah, that's why I think the director of In a Violent Nature got his stuff from really Halloween 2 specifically. The way that killer walks, the way he acts, why he stops and stuff like that. He waits for people to go possibly in the house, in the forest areas or in the trees, just waiting. Good shadow shots and stuff like that. That's what's going when the video game gets released and stuff like that. That's kind of what they're doing, right? He's able to blend in specifically on this holiday, really.
That's the point then where he actually hears that Laurie is in the hospital, and then Myers then decides to go to the hospital.
After he kills the Alice character. Because he hears that. And there's a scene too where he's actually in town, which is really good because that's where the main car goes by, and you see him in that street. The kid that's holding the the boombox and stuff like that. His last name is Warlock in real life too. That stuff is produced by John Carpenter. Like that whole scene right there, that's all him, which is like perfectly right. The kid just hits him a bit, then he just goes around, right? You hear that, like that famous scene, like with the first one when he grabs little Tommy and stuff like that. Same thing with this one. And then you just see him walking with everybody, man. Nobody cares. Everyone's all dressed up. And you see the sign that goes to the hospital. And he's like, yep, I know where she's at.
That's where he is, actually, on the boombox, isn't that she's in the hospital. We have got to say as well, I know Rick Rosenthal's credited for directing this, but John Carpenter did go back and direct 30% of this, which
he edited the bleep out of this film. Yeah, he edited the bleep out of it. I understand these directors wanted to do something different for this time, but if you want to make money, man, which this film did, it tripled its earnings, man. Like from the budget that they had, which was a good budget, because this was under Universal, man. There's something about that classic Universal intro that just hits differently. You don't know, you know, and you don't hear anything at the start, which I really liked about that. You know, where it's a different theme, you know, not the original type stuff like that. So it was very, very cool. But yeah, John had a lot more to kind of do with this.
So you got the security guard at the hospital, and he's too busy doing something, and he misses actually seeing Michael Myers walk into the hospital.
I think he's watching the same. I think he's watching the same film, to tell you the truth, or it's like a horror marathon, of course, because it is Halloween. It's the same day in 1978, same night. You know.
And then we see kind of the characters in the hospital. You've got Leo Rossi plays Bud, and he does the Amazing Grace song, which is kind of famous. Amazing Grace,
Sit on my face.
It's brilliant. He sings his own version of that.
Yeah, one of the nurses criticizes him because he cusses and does all this stuff. I guess I effed up on something like that. It's when the two ladies, you know, the sexy nurse is coming with her friend, and she's going to be late, but she has to drop her off. That's where she drives past. That's a Mustang she has, by the way. That's convertible. She goes past Michael. That's when he walks to the hospital, which is interesting. They go that way. He goes the other way because she has to drop her off first and stuff like that, too. That's very interesting. I always like that sequence.
So the one nurse, is Karen Bailey, and she's the love interest, I suppose, of Bud. You've got the head nurse, Virginia Alves. And she's kind of a really bitchy, she's horrible to everyone. She's kind of really strict. You know, she's telling Jimmy to like not go and see Laurie and all that. But Jimmy does tell Laurie that Michael Myers is actually the man who tried to kill her from the night before.
That's what they mentioned. That's the man that killed his sister. The boy that killed his sister. That same person. He escaped from the mental institution that he was in.
So you got, you know, Myers. Then he starts to like pretty much stalk this hospital. He cuts all the phone lines. You got the fake cat jump scare out in the dumpster when the security guard he ends up getting a hammer to his head in that scene as well. Which is
that's a great shot too. Yeah, the back part of the hammer, the claw part of the hammer. He gets in stuff like that.
Some very creative death scenes, and it's more gorier than obviously the first one. It's not really. There's a few
some deaths you don't see. Now, I haven't seen the TV version in a while, but some deaths you don't see. Some of them you're like, oh shit. It's like
they shot extra stuff for that as well. The TV,
they did.
The TV version's only 76 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's got
they added like
scenes.
They just edited it, of course, but with actual. That's when horror on TV was kind of cool, and they did these films, and then here's the TV version of the film done by the actual director, right? So they didn't have to, I'll take this out and put this in. That shows the creativeness of these of this crew of people.
Right, exactly. So there's unrest now in the whole community. The fact that Michael Myers is on the loose, and you get like vigilante groups and hate mobs and all that shit. And that's where they must have got Evil Dies Tonight. Is that from the original?
No.
Well, because
they probably got it from the mob of people.
I was thinking maybe you got it from this.
And I do like Halloween Kills too. I do like it for the fact is it's more brutal than the 2018 one and stuff like that. From the first one, like that is more brutal. If you just take that Halloween Dies Tonight type of thing, if you take that out, it actually works better for me. If they just didn't chant that,
oh man, I can't. Like
that'd be the one thing. It's always a what if thing, but I remember watching that. That is off topic. I remember watching that because that was during COVID and stuff like that. I'm like going, this was actually a fun popcorn film. I'm saying,
I fucking hated it. I hated it. Dirk loves that film.
It's
the whole thing with the Danny DeVito character in the hospital. You got the Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah.
You've got some good slashes, kills. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
But in this. Yeah, so Laurie, she ends up having she dreams about herself being adopted.
The mom tells her that, or her mother tells her that. He's like going, you were adopted or something like that. We got you from somebody. Then you see an older Michael like turn around and look at her, like when he's in the asylum and stuff like that, when he's not looking out the window, turns around. And that's a nod to the extended cut of Halloween, where you actually see Loomis talk to Michael when he was in his teens, to tell you the truth. And he says, I'm not letting you out of here. I
like
know.
the little
What are you
kid.
waiting for? Yeah. What are you looking at? You know, so.
But you've got to mention the next scene, the hot tub scene.
Yeah.
Pure Friday the 13th to me. So you've got Bud and Karen. They sneak off to have sex. You get to see her topless, of course, at this stage. But then you get Michael Myers. He's stalking them, and they're in this hot tub, and he turns up
the temperature and stuff like that too. And
I
it's
mean,
like,
and we see Bud.
it's cold out there. It's
killed.
going to get colder in here.
Exactly. Yeah. So Bud gets up to try and sort it out. But we see him in the background. The first time you watch it, you've got to be studying the background to even pick it up. But Michael Myers is killing Bud in the background while, she's still in the water having, in the hot
And they
tub
talked
and that.
about that scene, those two dudes. They talked about that scene of when to tell him to go limp. It's like 4 times. He told him, I'm going to do this, like have you do this 4 times. And then you go limp at the right time. So when you fall, it's less hard. You know what I mean? So you're not going to accidentally hit your head on the floor or anything like that. So it looks thing. And he does that great because he kind of eases them down like a little bit. He goes like that and then like that. And you see him walk in. I love that. They don't do that enough. You see him walk in because she can't see it, of course. It's kind of still musty in there.
Yeah, I'm guessing Carpenter actually did this scene.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you get her there and you get Myers. He's dipping her head under this scalding water.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
He ends up drowning her, doesn't he?
With the towel on. So they did that right. And they do that kind of from a distance. The last one picks her up like that and then throws her down. Jason in Space, aka Jason X. Yeah. And that's Carbonite.
Yeah, well.
It's very good.
The whole link to like the family, so they find this drawing in the local school of a family, and it's got like a knife stab in the picture of
like
the
in this like
family.
what a kid would do with family and stuff like that, and it shows the one in the middle, which is the sister, and then you see and what is it, Sal Wayne is the original name, I guess that's what Dirk says.
I've literally got to say Sal Wayne because Dirk would go mad.
Yeah. But that's what, it kind of says like that. And I always like that from Pleasance's character as Loomis. It goes like, it's the feast of, Sal Wayne, the Lord of the Dead, the end of summer. And that's when, that's why I think of Halloween. Halloween's the end of summer. And, it works really good. Just want to say hi real quick. Wild Wrangler is in here. What is going on? It's good to see you, my friend. Thanks for dropping in, saying hi. Appreciate it. Just talking slashers here. But yeah, I do kind of like that. But it, like I say, it's an all-timer for me, but it's very convoluted, like of how he would, but he is a serial killer, so he is a psychopath, sociopath, so he's not as dumb as a lot of people seem to think he is.
This is where he first started having problems, didn't they? Because the continuity errors.
Yeah, no, the continuity. No, the franchise has no continuity whatsoever, except for 2 films. One of them we'll talk about after this one. But other than that, this shit's all over the place. I don't mind it, but
Oh no, you take it for what it is, man.
You take it for what it is.
At the end of the day, we get to see the Dr. Rogers character, and they want Loomis back in the sanitarium, of course. You get the doctors then, they've been killed with like a syringe to the eye, and the nurse has got like a syringe to the head.
Yeah, he puts something in her and stuff like that. I think that's just air, which is a trip. He like goes like that and then he just pushes it in there. I'm like, damn. And he just goes like that. And you see her like that with her eyes open and stuff.
Yeah.
The good doctor got stabbed with the thing in the eye. And he goes.
It reminds me of Slaughter High, and Dead and Buried. And,
yeah, Dead and Buried. Yeah, don't worry. I can fix that.
But Myers then, he starts stabbing and where he thinks Laurie's in bed.
Yeah, with the scalpel.
She's got like pillows in her bed and she's off, but she's still groggy and she still can hardly walk because of all what happened.
Yeah, because before. they see it before they come in. The nurse comes in to try to wake her up what's his name comes in there. Jimmy comes in there. Notice her eyes are open, but she's not moving, like she's comatose. And he tells the nurse, I can't find anybody, right? the cute blonde, to tell you the truth, the taller blonde that seems to be the nicest out of all the nurses, you know, the most innocent out of everybody. I mean, the doctor in here is drunk when Laurie comes in there and stuff like that. I need a coffee. I need a coffee. Give me a coffee, please. It's like, you know, with the party and stuff like that he had, is like going, yeah, there's hardly nobody in this hospital. He mentions that and notices we have to find, nobody's here, right? It's like almost literally a haunted hospital. Nobody's here. So someone has to be here.
Crazy how they did the hospital.
But just the way through the cameras, the way Michael moves, he'll like go into a door, right? Then you'll shift to the nurse coming back. She comes back, right? The main desk, and then she goes back out. Then you see her through the camera. I really like that.
Surely, I was thinking, right? So surely visiting hours has been highly influenced by this.
Yes. Oh, I love visiting hours too. Yeah. I know JT doesn't like horror films in hospitals. I get that. Like doctors wise, I get that. There's something about hospitals that
I mean, Cold Prey 2, you gotta see that, man, as well. That's definitely influenced by this film. But anyway,
wow, that's an interesting one. He mentions that it's called The Curse of Crumb: The Legend of Halloween 2022. It's on Tubi. Okay. I'll remember that. Wild, thank you. He's good with his slashers. He knows what's up with that. So
okay, I'll keep a check out for that. Yeah. So you get now Nurse Alves is drained of blood. You see that shot?
Yeah, you see it go in there. He like follows the tube in there. To see that, the way he would actually do that would be very ahead of its time wise. I'm like going, this dude's brutal, man. This is a brutal Michael Myers. I'm telling you, man. He likes to do this kind of stuff too, because you see that. Well, we'll get to that one scene. Never mind. Go ahead, Darren.
But think of The Exorcist 3 with the scene where you know they drain the blood from one of the victims.
Film.
Yeah. Again, all the influences.
That's a Christmas film. We might have to do that.
I love The Exorcist 3, man.
It's a wonderful life.
So we've got Nurse Jill Franco there, and she tries to get away in the car. She finds out that all the like tires have been stabbed in the car park. And then she ends up,
because she tries to start her car, and she realizes that it won't start. Then you see that, what was it? The oil thing was busted, I think.
Yeah.
Something was going on there. So it's like, he's like, nobody's leaving here. Because he gets to some interesting places here, and that's what makes it very interesting. So it's like, it's what you would see later from Jason Voorhees. Like, how did he get over there? Like, he's literally on the other side of the hospital, which is nuts, right? But he seems to be more of an underground type of killer here, which I kind of like, because that's the thing he automatically does is you go into the basement area, which goes outside. That's how the police officer gets killed.
Well, he's actually still a real person in this, isn't he?
He's still a real person. He's not supernatural wise.
Oh,
no, he's not supernatural wise, but like say you kind of, that's right, because it's the same suit. It's the same suit with the bullet holes. You'd have to really focus on the bullet holes that are in him. I think there is 6 or whatever like that, which I think is interesting, but he's still kind of bloodied up wise for the most part.
So Jill gets stabbed with a scalpel, doesn't she? And she's lifted. I don't know how this.
Yeah, she's lifted up like that. Her shoes drop.
You can lift someone up with a scalpel. It's kind of funny. What I like about that kill as well is like her shoes fall off in that scene.
It's a very dreamlike sequence too, because Laurie turns around and she's like, "What?" and stuff like that. That's where it just happens. Where it's like, "Oh shit, it's on." That's a great chase scene, by the way. They go throughout the hospital.
Yeah, they end up in like the boiler room. They see the
that's where the security guard is at. The way he is, and she goes like right past that. That's hardcore and stuff like that, because the audience would be like screaming. It's like he's right next to you. He's right next to you with that flipping scalpel. There's a scene we'll get to later where he's swinging that sucker, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a little bit too close for my taste." It's no wonder you probably had to reshoot a lot of stuff here.
That is a great scene. So you got Laurie then, she's hiding in the car in the parking lot. Dr. Loomis starts talking about druids.
That's when Jimmy comes in there, and you don't see the blood in the back where she's like hiding in the car. Like there is a scene too where she's like hiding in one of the rooms in the hospital. She falls asleep, right? She's like passed out wise because of all the drugs that they've given her. And then she ends up in the car. That's when Jimmy shows up, where you don't see the blood on his back, a lot of it and stuff like that too. And he's like going, we gotta go and stuff like that. And he just passes out. So you think, that's what I think. He turns back he goes all the way back in the chair. It almost looks like his neck is broken, boy, because I thought I was double jointed. You can turn your neck farther back, man. You see his Adam's apple and all that stuff too. I'm is his neck broken? You know, so
yeah, we're not sure at this point, do we? But yeah, Loomis starts talking about druids and satanic rituals on Halloween night. They find that there's this missing file on Myers that reveals Laurie is in fact his sister. So you got Loomis then.
Yeah, that's when the governor, because the governor is the one that had she says the governor is the one that had the papers released on that. And, you know, said, we just have to go back. I do like that analogy there and stuff like that. Is like literally there's a Michael Myers in all of us and stuff like that too. You know, there's
absolutely
stuff out there.
So you got Loomis then and Marion, they go to the hospital realizing now that Myers is after his sister.
That's a funny thing with that. He puts the gun to the deputy's head and stuff like that, saying, "Was that a warning shot?" And you see the car turn around and stuff like that. There's something about Donald Pleasance with a gun, man, that's just hilariously cool. Like, you know.
Oh yeah. There's one scene that does kind of bug me, right? So you got Laurie when she's trying to scream in the car park. And
she can't do it as soon as they walk in. Yeah, help me.
I'm like, fuck, really?
Yeah, because she can't do it. Yeah, it's like when the drugs actually wear off and stuff like that. That's a cool scene though, because she's like crawling and they're like at that distance and stuff like that too. So,
but they eventually hear it, don't they? When she could.
Yeah, that's where you see Michael from the other side. Yeah. So he's all the way on the other side of the place because he's chasing her. Then he sees her and stuff like that. That's where she pounds on the door and they answer it.
I think Loomis shoots him as well at that point, and then he shoots Myers.
He goes through the door.
Yeah.
He goes through the door, and that's when he shoots him and stuff like that. There's a scene where the deputy goes up and stuff like that. He's like, "He's dead, right?" Oh, that's so good. Like, he's dead. No, get away from him. He's dead. I don't feel a pulse. And, I guess it's just going to happen.
He probably is supernatural thinking about it because no one.
Now, when the guy says, "I don't feel a pulse," I'm like going, "Oh, dude, he can play dead with the best of them." You know, that's where the Undertaker, the wrestler, got his idea from. Where you see a dude knock him down and stuff like that, and he rises up like that, dude. That takes skill to do that. If you're just doing like that and you turn, and he kind of does something like that. But that's a good scene there. He takes him, turns him down, and you see him like slowly slit his throat with the scalpel. You're like, oh boy,
that's a good kill as well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, going through it now, you got obviously.
Well, he tells the nurse too to call the authorities and stuff, and like get him over here and stuff like that. Like get him here. He's here and stuff like that.
They're trying to buy time in there. So you got Loomis and Laurie. They escape to the operating room. He gives her the gun and he says, "Use it if you have to."
Yeah, she doesn't want to do it.
No. I mean, you guess Loomis is then stabbed by Myers.
That's great. He literally collapses in the back where one of the tables is at. He's like, like that. That's where Laurie shoots him twice in the eyes. That's a kind of cool scene. I like that. Even though, he kind of still shot him in the eyes or something like that. They had a thing in there, of course, in the mask to make it do that and stuff like that. But that's still a great shot. Just like like that. It's almost like tears of blood.
You just see him with the scalpel, just fucking, you can't see anything.
Some of those were very close. And that's where they take, what is it, the canisters or whatever that is? What is that?
Yeah.
Like laughing gas?
Like gas, I think it is. Just
where he like just does that to hear him and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Where that's where she shoots him and
flammable gas they start filling the room with. Loomis like tells like Laurie,
it's like, "Get out now, do it now, get out."
And then, of course, you got Michael Myers then inflamed, engulfed in flames, and he emerges before like collapsing.
That's where he says he takes the lighter that he got from the police officer when he was all lighting the cigarettes, and he never lights it and stuff like that. That's where he goes up in this iconic scene. "It's time, Michael." Boom.
I mean, how can Loomis survive that as well? It's pretty like he does, obviously. Spoiler for the next one, but so right at the end, then you got pretty much the next day she's being transferred.
They said how many? Like they say 16 so far. That's a total from the 2 films, by the way. So
over 2 nights.
I think this is the most. It's a true slasher film. It's the most I think this is the most Michael is killed in a film. I believe so.
I don't know.
He'll count stuff if you look at that, but I'd have to look at it.
Halloween Ends has probably got the biggest one, no, isn't it? I would imagine.
That's true. Yeah, with all the firefighters.
We don't count them in the fucking Halloween.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't anyway, but
yeah.
You know. But anyway, yeah. So the last shot is she's being transferred to another hospital, and you get then the Sandman song plays out the credits. And
oh, that's so good. She's sitting there because obviously there's trauma there and stuff like that. Then you just hear the boom, 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 and just all slides
which, as
off.
we mentioned earlier, like it opens the film and ends the film. That song
and ends the film. Yeah, done by that original 50s group. It was used later on in. It was used. I think it was used in Rob Zombie's Halloween. I think it was. Or H2O or one of those other films, but it was used. It's an iconic song. It's perfect for this film.
Pretty sure it may have been H2O. Yeah, thinking about it.
But
I like Don't Fear the Reaper. It's not in this one, but that song kicks ass, man.
Oh yeah, Don't Fear the Reaper. Yeah,
Halloween. Once you hear that song coming on, it's like it's Halloween.
Absolutely, definitely.
But no, like Chris said, this was really successful. Actually, it ended up doing 10 times its budget. It made 10 times its budget, which is crazy. So you've got the Shatner mask. Actually, the Shatner mask from '78 was actually lost, and this new mask that Dick Warlock got, the fans were calling him Cabbage Face because it doesn't look right.
Yeah,
it does actually.
It's warped because there was cigarette smoke through it and all this other stuff too.
I think it's painted like
because the original actor put it in his back pocket and stuff like that when a lot of stuff was kind of going on. So of course, white never stays white. It just doesn't. And that it's easy to get dirty. It's easy to yellow up. I kind of like it for the aesthetic. You can almost say it was done with a bunch of like I said, because he goes through the wear and tear of the first part, so it kind of works like that, right? He gets shot, it gets on the ground, a lot of dirty stuff seems to happen. It does look really, really warped wise, definitely through the film.
You've got to laugh, right, Cap, in this quote, like for this film. So this is what he said, and it made me laugh actually. He said, "I give them more blood, more bodies, and a twist that they'll hate me for. Happy Halloween."
Yeah. Well, he criticized the hell out of this film back in the day. He's come around a little bit. That's just just like what it kind of is with that. You always kind of come back to those films and stuff like that. Like I say, I like this better than the original one. I just do. It's more fast paced in my opinion. Of course, the first film is a masterpiece. It is. It's a masterpiece of a horror film. It is. But 2 is literally a slasher. It literally is. It took upon what was big in the 80s, specifically 81, the early 80s. Man, look at the horror films that came out. Like say The Howling, Friday the 13th Part 2. Come on now, it's just like The Omen. You just have this boom period, and it just seemed to work for that. I've said it before at the start of this. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Really, 9.5 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's my second all-time slasher. Period. I love it a lot.
For me, like it's a 8.5 out of 10. I love it. It's not. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't go back really, if I'm honest, and go back to any of these films. And if I am inclined, then it's The Curse of Michael Myers Part 6. That's kind of my
like a guilty pleasure type of a film. I get that.
Yeah, I do enjoy Halloween H2O as well more than most people, and that's just
I like H2O. I like H2O. It's definitely it's a 90s film that's better than Scream,
isn't it? Yeah. It really is. That's why I kind of like it.
And he takes basically it almost goes a Child's Play route because he takes out all the original kind of original characters, right? Because in H2O he takes out the nurse, in that house.
And I mean, I think that's the best depiction of Laurie Strode as well, the alcoholic kind of teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people hate Josh Hartnett, but I didn't mind him in that role, to be honest. But
that's like a debut. That's one of the debut films for him, to tell you the truth. I always liked Josh.
I think it was
the
debut.
Yeah, so.
But
definitely a good one.
So Halloween 2 is a must to watch this time of the year. It'll probably be another few years or down the line before I'm going to rewatch this one. I'm sure me and Chris will end up doing a whole series at some point.
Yeah, we
But,
will definitely.
in
We'll
our own
definitely
kind of, in
definitely
our
get
own
to that.
different orders, though. Yeah.
Yeah, different orders. Yeah, absolutely. It just
I mean,
just like with this one.
next time we could do definitely do 5 and 6, maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. People like to shit on 5. I do like 5. 5's a guilty pleasure for me.
Oh,
That's a
man.
guilty pleasure
I
type of a
hate
film
it.
for me. Other than it's a Craven thing with the 2 officers, but we'll get to that at a later date.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Definitely.
I've changed my mind on it, but I'll make up for it with part 6. So yeah,
Definitely.
it should be a good one.
And chat, what do you think about Halloween 2, the original one from '81? Specifically, you, Wild. I want to know your opinion on that, since you're a slasher fan like I am. What's your thoughts on that? What your ranking would be on that film? I think it's highly rewatchable. It's perfect for Halloween for me, specifically if you're slasher fans like me and Darren are. It just works. And we'll just get on to the second film we're doing on this slasher stream. That's Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers from 1988. So got this one right here. It was released by Anchor Bay. This is the Divimax edition and stuff like that as well.
Believe it or not, I've got that somewhere. Yeah.
That one. Of course, the Blu-ray that they released and stuff like that. It has all the same kind of stuff that was in the back of the DVD wise.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this one right here. This is the one that I watched. Was this one right here? This one looks great. Give the devil his due, dude. This one looks terrific. Yeah, I've gotten a little bit higher on this one. I've always thought it's a fun film, but we're definitely going to get to that. Like I say, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, 1988, directed by Dwight H. Little, stars Donald Pleasance returning as the great Sam Loomis, Dr. Sam Lewis. He was 69 when this was done at the time. 4, 5, and 6 all had the Loomis character, and 2 and 1, right? It all had him and stuff like that. Of course, 6 was famously his last role. Unfortunately, I think they did him dirty a little bit in that film. But he was aging at the time, and unfortunately, he died that year. But you see the early signs of plans because he has a cane in this one. That's where you first see him with the cane that he has and stuff like that. Daniel Harris, the debut of Daniel Harris as Jamie Lloyd, which is crazy. Because I remember her from The Last Boy Scout, which he did a few years later, of course, with Bruce Willis. I love The Last Boy Scout so much. And Marlon Wayans, or one of the Wayans brothers. You have George P. Wilbur as Michael Myers. That's the first time the character of Michael Myers, not the shape, is being used. Is the first one. Ellie Cornell as Rachel, the very pretty Ellie Cornell as Rachel, and Bo Starr as Sheriff Ben. Real quick, John Carpenter again had original script for this film. It was more of what you could say Halloween Ends is. It centers around the town of Haddonfield, and you can almost say the curse of Michael Myers, of how it affects the people and stuff like that too, which is crazy to think like that. Of course, that was kind of shot down and stuff like that. He disavowed this film. This is the first. I think this is the only one where he had no involvement in it. Of course, this was when Mustafa Akkad got the rights to the film. The rights to the franchise. How about that? Unfortunately, he was famous. Unfortunately, I consider this a cursed film because he died. He was killed in 2005, I believe. Of course, his son, is still heavily part of the franchise, which is very cool. And he took the franchise into his own, man, and he gave us this great film, which is Halloween 4. So it's very...
He took a risk, mind the card, because...
Huge risk.
He bought it for, I think, 1.2 million off Canon Films, who'd gone bankrupt.
Yeah.
But the actual budget was the same price, so he had to fork out twice to make this film. Yeah. But it was probably one of the best decisions he ever made because...
And I know him and John were friends anyway, and I'm sure they had that conversation and stuff like that. And John being John said, yeah, go ahead and take it. Like, if you can do better with it, if you can do good with it, go ahead. And we get this, like I said, this is a fun one. This is a fun film. I really like 4 a lot. This is, of course, return of the character of Michael Myers. It's the return of Donald Pleasance, of course, as Dr. Sam Loomis with very interesting cosmetics on his face. And you just have we just have some great stuff here. First off, the opening week, the budget was $5 million for this. Opening week, $6.8 million. Worldwide, $17 million. Pretty damn good for what it is. This brought back the character of Michael Myers. Go ahead, Darren. What else you got on this bad boy?
Right, so this was a rush job. Script-wise, was written in 11 days.
11 days. Think Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, man. Think about those badass films.
You've got Laurie's death, which is retconned off screen in a car accident, and which she's got like an unnamed husband in this as well, and she's obviously dead.
They don't even mention that because they mentioned that. Doesn't Jamie mention that? The parent.
I think it's mentioned once. Like I think
that she was dropped off by her mom, and I missed my mom, and then I don't know when it was stated that she died in a car accident. I forgot about that. I'm sorry about that.
I think there is it does mention that at one point. So title changes for this was Halloween 4: The Revenge of Michael Myers, and it also had Halloween 4: Blood is Thicker Than Water. It was going to be called at one point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, shot in October 1987 during like an unexpected snowstorm, which caused
you have squashes that are painted like pumpkins. So you have these big squashes that are painted like pumpkins. There's famously a scene with all these kids like toilet papering everything and stuff like that. It has a very good Halloween sequence, specifically at the start. I love that. It's like a desert type area and what have you. This was filmed in Utah, so this is filmed in a big, like you can say, open state, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So he can do stuff like this and just works well.
This, along with Part 6, has got the best Halloween atmosphere. I think they absolutely nail it in this one. You've got Donald Pleasence. He actually wore a wig because he was really thinning on top, and they had to put some kind of hair on him.
Oh, that would have worked.
Ellie Cornell ended up breaking her wrist in the rooftop fall, which
she falls and stuff like that. That was a brutal kind of stop. Yeah, went to the doctor and then was back within whatever like that. And let's just continue on doing it, man. She's very pretty, by the way. She's out of film.
Oh man, she I know a lot of people say Kathleen Kinmont.
Oh the chick that was in the Renegade TV series. Yeah,
and I would not say no to her, but actually, I prefer Ellie Cornell. She's like the girl next door
with that long T-shirt that says "Cop, please do it by the book," or "Cops do it by the book." I was like, "Damn, son."
yeah, man. But this one, like Chris said, I because I've only got the Blu-ray, right? And it's upscaled. It looks like a fucking 4K. It looks amazing. This film, just the quality, the gel lighting and all that is superb. But the opening, because obviously this is set 10 years later, October the 30th, 1988. So you've got like this rainy, stormy night, which I love. You just mentioned you love this scene as well. So you've got Michael Myers. He's been comatose for the last 10 years. He's being
all bandaged up. Yeah, because you have like the little dude that like goes, "Oh, hey, you guys are late. Yeah, it's a storm. Yeah, it's a storm out there, raining like hell and stuff."
I love
like
all
that. Dude, it's great and stuff like that. They go down to the very bowels of this place and stuff like that too.
Yeah, so he's being transferred from Ridgemont.
You hear these people screaming, and he goes, "Jesus," and he goes, "No, Jesus isn't here."
That's right. Yeah. So they're taking him to Smith's Grove. Myers overhears that his niece is living in Haddonfield.
Was it Dr. Boyd? I think it is. The one signs up on him, says, "Isn't Loomis is supposed to be here? Is his doctor?" And he says, "Really, no. Only a name." Loomis, I recognize that actor. I think he was in another film called, I think it's called Grave of the Vampire. Scream Factory released that one a while back. He looks familiar. I forgot his name and stuff like that, but I recognize his voice and stuff like that too. He's an interesting character in this.
There's a good kill in the ambulance as well. So he kills one of the ambulance personnel. He escapes, but he
bangs his head up against the wall like a bunch of times, and they do a lot of things where he puts the thumb in his whatever like that and crushes him. Yeah, like I
don't know if that works, but evidently it's a thing. But so you got Jamie Lloyd.
It's almost like an extreme version of the Mummy, dude, because he's all in wrapping in this one too, because it explains like originally they were going to put they were strapped for time, so they didn't do it. They were going to do a recap scene when the explosion happened in the hospital, and Loomis was supposed to be thrown out from that to where
he didn't
get did get explained away and stuff like that too. So it's like
he's got the shittiest like makeup on his face during this film.
Yeah.
So we get to see Jamie Lloyd now. She's the orphan daughter of Laurie Strode. She's staying with Rachel and her foster parents. Rachel's kind of like this, treats her like this younger sister. They got like
because she says like a real sister. It's like, oh, we're not really sisters type of a thing. But it's a good nightmare sequence with this. I do like the mask in this film. A lot of people don't, but that's before you see what happens. Like I say, this film can be a little bit convoluted, but it's very fast paced though. So
that nightmare sequence is superb. So you've got Myers is seen in the bedroom with little Jamie Lloyd.
Yeah, he comes up from the bed and looks at her, dude. That's from the first film. It's nuts.
There's like this lightning flash, and then we see Myers, and that's from me and Dirk was covering it back a year or two ago.
Yeah, that's first when she's looking out the window on the couch. She sees the ambulance, and then she doesn't see the ambulance, which means he's there. He's shown up, right? And turns around, and he's no longer there. That's a trip.
Do you know when we see him, the lightning flash, and we see him in the bedroom?
Yeah,
that's completely ripped from Anthropophagus, Joe D'Amato.
Oh, that's right. It is.
The Grim Reaper is exactly the same shot.
Well, that's absurd. Yeah.
But that first like dream sequence, it's definitely got like a Nightmare on Elm Street vibe, man. Early on in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the way it opened. One of the best openings, I think, for like a Halloween film. But so now it's the big day, October the 31st, 1988. Jamie's foster parents, they go into this party. They leave Rachel to babysit, and she like literally was gonna go on a date with Brady.
Yeah, with Brady, yeah.
And she's kind of pissed a little bit because she can't do that. But she comes round and she's okay in the end. That's where, we see Dr. Loomis's Survive Part 2, and he's got all those fucking shitty burns on his face. But he's
sorry, Victim. No, I see you in the chat. I linked your
thing.
How's it going, I hope you're doing good, my friend. No, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate that. Sorry, we got into this a little bit. Apologize there. But I'm paying attention to the chat here, everybody. Trust me.
Yeah. Nice to see you. But so he's still in pursuit of Michael Myers. The ambulance carrying Myers has crashed, and now he's escaped. And again, like I said, you've got the early early Nightmare on Elm Street feel. You've got, for some reason, then it gives me another Friday the 13th style.
Yeah, because Loomis goes there,
to
see the doctor and said, how could you let him out and stuff like that too? Says, why should you even care and stuff like that? He's been comatose for whatever like that. And sure enough, he gets a call saying there's been an accident and stuff like that. They drive over there, and that's a scene. Boy, Donald Pleasance goes right into it. He goes right into that lake, which is like just like a mud type thing of water where the ambulance happened to be at, where he goes around and then he just opens the door. The door's already open. You see all the blood all over the place, and then you see it in there, but you don't see everything completely. So it's like, it's a trip.
But that's where you get to see like the look of Michael Myers in future like films with the overalls.
Yeah.
We find out why he gets these overalls, because he kills this mechanic.
It's in link with there's like a diner that's linked with that. That's a great scene where he says, if you haven't found him in like how many hours or something like that, he says, I will. And that's where he goes to the gas station. He's getting gas, and he goes in the back because he takes out this mechanic with it's one of those big iron spears and stuff like that. And
great kill, man. And
he takes his uniform.
Yeah, he kills the female Clark as well in the back. So, Loomis saying he's following Myers, and he sees this mechanic dead hanging down.
Yeah, with the chains.
Yeah, that's a great shot as well. Very slasher-esque. But so he sees Myers there, and he starts shooting at him. But he escapes in like a tow truck. And then you've got all the ignited gas.
There's a great scene in the diner. He sees the dead lady there, and then he turns around and sees him back where the cooks are at and stuff like that too. And he goes, why now, Michael, and stuff like that. That's a great scene. He's like, are you going after her? It's like, why are you going after her? Like, who are you after? Something like that. He just goes, damn you, boom, boom, boom. And you don't see him. And I'm like, yeah, that's where you have this like big explosion where he gets tossed again.
The whole thing goes up, then a big explosion. and obviously that like wrecks Loomis's car and disables all the phone lines at the same time. So he's on foot now. Loomis is on foot, and he's trying to, get, he's still in pursuit of Myers.
One thing about the mask, I do agree with. You do see a mask where you do see that mask when
it's awful, the mask,
which is weird. It's the first time I've seen it in the film, which is crazy. Where they're shopping for the costume in the store. And and you're thinking, oh, there's the mask right there, and she passes it, and she happens to get the clown costume, and it just happens to be there, and that's where you see a hand come down and take the mask from, which means he's there too. It's a trip. It's very trip.
Myers,
like next to each other.
He steals the mask, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But Jamie, she's getting really bullied at school for being the niece of the boogeyman and an orphan. All the kids are really cruel as they are. We've all been to school. We've all seen cruel kids. But yeah, that's the great shot, like you said. They're in this Halloween shop. I think Rachel's boyfriend Brady works there. But Jamie keeps getting these visions, like Chris just said, and you see the great shot of Michael with just stealing the mask, man. But you've got the iconic playing costume as well, which comes into play, I think, in part 5 as well.
I do agree with that victim of why they couldn't maybe get another one. They were strapped for time here, so it is kind of interesting that you could get, like, those masks were kind of big at the time, to get ones that. They could have gotten one. I'm sure money wise it wouldn't be a big thing, but like you say, it's always kind of those little things you would like to see in there. That's kind of the truth. I do like it in aspect. It's more blank of a mask. It's more, like you say, just like what is it? Eyes Without a Face, I think it's called, or something like that. Something like that, you know what I mean? Where it's just
the
like that, just straight and white and stuff like that, no emotion whatsoever. It's kind of weird.
Doesn't it? I think the mask changes in this one as well.
It does. There's some changes to it. There's one scene we'll get to where it's a different person.
Yeah. So some of the night scenes, it's got a different shade than the day scenes. It's got
definitely.
It's weird. But then you get a really fucking off the wall. So Loomis hitches a ride with this priest.
Yeah, this priest is actually a preacher.
This guy is, isn't he? He's like alcoholic.
An actual preacher in real life. He's like going, "Oh, you're chasing it, aren't you?" and stuff like that. Because these youngins being punks, like, "Oh, come on, old man," and all this other stuff too. That doesn't work. But of course, it's like, you hunting it too, aren't you? And stuff like that too. I've met it before, and all this other stuff too. So
start singing and all and shit.
Yeah,
it's fucking great, man.
Well, that's where they all take a shoot up from the whiskey and stuff like that, and you see Loomis smile. That's the thing, because he shows off what he says. You saw what happened to me and stuff like that. You see the burns on there. You see the burns on the side and stuff like that too. He goes through the ringer in this film too.
Oh yeah. So Myers now, he's watching the house, the Caruthers house. He breaks in and then he finds like Jamie's family photos, and he kills the family dog.
Yeah, he kills the dog
off screen as well. He did that.
He kills the dog. I forget the dog's name in that. Yeah, he kills the dog.
You got Dr. Loomis then. He warns the sheriff Ben Meeker that Myers is on the loose.
Yeah, because he asks where Sheriff Brack is at, and he says he retired 10 years ago, basically.
Yeah.
What have you? Yeah, he retired 10 years ago.
And a funny thing happens, the same as Sheriff Brackett, happens to Ben Meeker in this as well, where his daughter gets killed a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But all the local businesses have got to shut down. It comes on the news. I think they're in a bar in the
these rednecks and stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
I'm like going, there's something going on here and stuff like that, because he's like going, he's been comatose for whatever like that. Says, no, I've been he's here and stuff like that too. So they go out looking for him. They end up coming back to the station, and he's run roughshod there. He took out everybody. He's like going, dude, how the men couldn't deal with that like that? You don't deal with something that's not human, something like that. They don't know how to deal with them. Only I do, type of a thing.
Right. Yeah. But obviously the night of Halloween, you got the trick or treating. Rachel takes, little Jamie round all the houses.
Yeah.
And she ends up going to the sheriff's house, and she sees Brady's been cheating on her with Kelly. And then you can see him in the background. He's all shirtless and shit, and quite obviously what.
Yes, she is victim. Yes, she is hot as heck. Yeah, she comes in there. That's when Brady comes down the stairs, and stuff like that too. And you're like,
I mean, there's 2 good reasons to see her in this film. Like,
that's why they're kind of having an argument, and she ventures off with the rest of the kids and stuff like that. I'm like, whoops. And that starts out a great sequence of stuff, because you see the parents and people coming over to pick up the kids and everybody else like that. That's before the power goes out.
Of course, yeah. And the way the power does go out is Myers, he gets this electrician and he just fucking throws him.
Yeah,
this,
Bucky,
like,
I think his name is, or something like that, or Bud.
Yeah,
it says it on his helmet.
And it sends the whole town into like complete darkness, which can only happen in a Halloween film. But visually, this film is amazing, man. I think it's fantastic the way it looks. Because that's what I mentioned earlier. You got these scenes of like Myers in these foggy streets just looming, and
it's true. Her friend Tina that comes to pick her up, to take her to the costume place as well, was, of course, another actress was used as that character. She was supposed to be named something different. There was some names that were changed, of course, which is kind of weird. The original names of some of these characters, like Jamie's name, was supposed to be something else, and all this other stuff too.
You see, Loomis sees this Michael Myers wannabe then as well, and almost shoots him.
Well, you see them all. They like go and trick or treat or something like that. He says, "Just go the hell home," and stuff like that, and all this stuff going on.
But Myers kills a lot of these like the police force off camera, doesn't he? And we see the aftermath. And this sparks up like a lynch mob.
Yeah, because he has one of his deputies stay at the Rachel's parents' house, has him stay there. Then he gets the call to go meet him at his house and stuff like that, and board them all up, which is a trip too, since it's like a steel door or whatever it is that's in there, which is funny. With one scene when they're trying to escape, it's like, oh shit, it's steel. We'll get to that though.
They all kind of but yeah, so they end up shooting this teenager who they think is Myers. You've got Brady and Kelly there, and they continue to have sex in the one scene, but the sheriff father gets back.
Yeah, you see some tatas in there for a second. I'm like, hot damn. Oh boy, this is great time and all this other stuff too. But yeah, that's where she sees the light of her dad, and he goes, oh shit, my dad's home. What?
And he of course turns up then with Loomis, Rachel, and Jamie. Then that's where they all barricade themselves into their house.
That's where he gives that's where he gives Grady the gun and stuff like that. He gives him the gun. You knew this? Yes, sir, and stuff like that. It says, by the way, I see you grew up with my daughter. That barrel's going to basically go in you. Yeah. And he just nods too. He doesn't say yes, sir. He just
walking
nods.
around in this t-shirt with no bra on, just like as if it's just normal to do that. And Deputy Logan, the cop, like he's been like the lookout pretty much.
In the rocking chair.
Myers kills him. Yeah.
He basically says, don't worry, the cops from the other county are going to be here soon. Like you say, the dudes from the bar find out that so there's a scene in the school basically where Loomis finds Jamie and all this other stuff. But there's a scene too where Loomis tells the people to find him and stuff like that too. That's after they find out that the police force has been decimated, so there's nobody and stuff like that too. He goes, says his name is Michael Myers, and they recognize, like, what, from 10 years ago? Yeah, that same person. And they all give him up. He goes, why the hell you do that? Are you crazy? You don't have anybody. He says that you don't have anybody. Like, you need somebody to help find and kill this sucker, So
you gotta laugh at the way Kelly's killed as well. So she's killed by this like gun barrel, just kind of goes into
Silent Night, Deadly Night. Almost kind of similar to that. Yeah, the double barrel shotgun just gets shoved through her and through the wall like that.
But Rachel stumbles across all the dead bodies. Brady's kind of a bit of an asshole anyway because he's been cheating on her. But then, like, he seems more concerned with getting away rather than trying to find and help Jamie. Like,
that's what he says. It's like, when she's gone, we got to go and stuff like that. We got to go. That's because she's not in her bed and stuff like that. I forget that scene of what happens to her. I know she shows up. Like, say, there's continuity issues with this
missing,
too.
She
goes missing, and
then
that's where he tries to shoot the door out. That's when you realize, because they're all boarded up, is like, oh shit, it's a metal door. You're kind of screwed.
But you've got probably the best kill in the film because we hate the character so much. Myers kills Brady, lifting him up and then squeezing him.
Yeah, he spits out blood. It looks like
Yeah.
at first, and just breaks his neck, like just crushes his neck, cracking like.
And like, yeah, he's such an asshole, that character.
Let's
So
see when they end
everyone's
up in the attic and
trying to
end up
keep
getting
him.
on the roof. That's where she got her injury from.
Yeah, so they're on the roof now. Jamie's lowered down to safety by Rachel, but Rachel gets attacked and she falls like unconscious to the ground.
Yeah, because she lowers Jamie down first.
Yeah.
And then Michael's all hitting her, try to get Rachel down. Then she completely drops, but that's after she kind of rolls down that roof and hits where it's like a chimney where those antenna stuff is at, where the cord is at for cable and stuff. And that's where I think the injury happened to her.
And that's when you get Loomis takes Jamie to the school, and they're seeking shelter in the school.
Yeah, then the scene that comes out of nowhere where he goes like she goes something like he's all smiling, it'll be okay. He's like, is everything going to be okay? And then he finally says no and stuff like that. That's when this different Michael Myers comes out of nowhere, bigger hair, and just really quick tosses him through the flipping window.
Fucking Loomis has gone through some shit, man, the last 3 films, but. Yeah, he gets
because it was different hair on the mask. It was a different mask, and they just do that for like that one scene. It's crazy.
That was definitely a Carpenter reshoot. That
had to have been. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny wise, but you gotta love it wise.
It's not even close, man. It's
really not. Like I say, he basically that's the last you see of him towards the end until the end of the film. That really kind of is, which is a trip. Because that's where he's all hunting Jamie in the school, and that's when Rachel shows up because, like I said, she goes, "Rachel, don't be dead, and stuff like that. She comes up with the fire extinguisher, just goes like that, and get him away from her.
That's the part I like the chase around the school as well. And then she falls down a flight of stairs. Jamie
she goes through the ringer for this too. What a young actress at the time, boy.
And obviously Rachel's kind of saves her with that fire extinguisher. You got the lynch mob as well. They help the girls get away from Haddonfield. Myers then is hidden under
which is a trip.
Truck.
Yeah, that's where they're like going, and the sheriff from the other county tells them, okay, there's a turnoff here. You can just go this way too. So he's underneath the truck when he comes up there and stuff like that too, and starts throwing these person out. The dude driving the truck is trying to ad-lib it. He's trying to, but you see him kind of looking, waiting for something. It's kind of weird. Where finally the thing comes in there, he just like rips his throat out.
I mean, it's a great shot when he's on top of the fucking truck as well.
Oh yeah.
Do you know if George P. Wilbur did that himself?
I think he did for the most part, yeah. Because
in
the film too, he had to calm Daniel Harris down a bit like that, and ensure, don't worry, it's just me. She's still a kid in here. She's still very young in here. Right, not to make everything like too terrifying. Just remember, it's just me. We're going to talk about this before we start. That was very cool. You have to kind of do that with films like this. I'm sure Drew Barrymore was talked about that with the horror film she did back in the day. So,
that scene reminds me of Death Proof as well, with the girls on the roof of the car. But so pretty much then, Michael Myers he gets on. He climbs into the truck and kills the one man by ripping the fucking throat of the driver, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good stuff. It's like
that's where Rachel knocks him out. The thing, because he's already gone and stuff like that. Where she's on there and then she finally stops so he can just fall like on the ground. That's pretty good too. Where she's like, die, you son of a bitch, son of a bitch, all like Dawes. And hits him where he just flies. Close to, was it like a well or something like that area? That's where everybody else shows up, which I think is funny. So everybody else from the town, Sheriff Brackett shows up with everybody else. So it's like, how did they know? How did they know?
They just fucking show up.
How did they know? They just showed up.
You got the scene then with Jamie. She touches her uncle's hand. Michael Myers.
Yeah, she picks it up and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then you got Mika there, and he just ends up shooting him until he falls down in an abandoned mine, which is
it's like how many of those shots flipping missed, which is funny. It's like literally you're like right there, clock, boom, click, boom, he falls down. It's a mine shaft. That's what it is.
It is a mind shaft, yeah. I've got to ask you about how you feel about the end as well. So, right, so you've got the Carruthers house, you've got Darlene, the mother. She runs a bath for Jamie.
Loomis comes up and he's all bloodied up, right, from going through the window, right, which adds to the aesthetic. Is like going, it's all right, he's gone now. The evil is gone and stuff like that.
Loomis, in some ways, is like Michael Myers. He fucking survives everything and just keeps coming back.
You see the sheriff just sitting there on the chair and stuff like that because they're so damn exhausted. Like, say, Jamie's technically in shock. Rachel's in shock. You know, that's, like, say, running the bath, and then it's a scene straight out of the first film.
It is, yeah. So it's almost a mirror image of that shot from the first film. So Loomis hears the screams, and he sees Jamie in the clown costume,
scissors,
like bloody scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say,
and he goes nuts. He's like, no, he takes out the gun. He's getting ready to shoot her. And I'm like, he's like, no. And it's almost like a legacy type of thing. Yeah.
He kind of cries at the end. Yeah. So pretty much he's thinking the evil inside Myers has like infected Jamie, and then it ends.
Yeah.
They were going to go slightly different with the ending. They were going to have Jamie killing her like foster mother, and then, you know, literally showing it and all that.
Yeah.
They didn't go with that. I like this one, man. I really like this one a lot more than I thought, actually.
Very cool.
But
yeah.
It's got to be like 5 years, man. 5 years since I've seen this one, at least, maybe longer. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I probably had more fun with this one than I did with Halloween 2, because I know, you know, I've pretty much seen Halloween 2 to death at this point.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the truth. I had a blast with this one too. It's definitely more heavy fall Halloween atmosphere than, of course, the second one is. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Alan Howarth reused Carpenter's theme, but he added like a children's choir to like.
Yeah, this has dark themes to it, almost like a synth scene to it. I like it a lot, specifically at the beginning and stuff like that. It just doesn't seem like it's a Halloween film or, you know, Michael Myers thing until you see Halloween for the Return of Michael Myers, and it just gets you into it.
One of Wilbur's contact lenses fell out during the mine shaft scene towards the end, and you can literally see it close up, like he's got like a blue eye. I mean, eagle-eyed fans anyway. Like that shit doesn't bother me, man. Yeah. But opening weekend, 6.8 million, #1 box office, beating Alien Nation. VHS #1 rental for 3 weeks in 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah, you name it. This kind of
gross worldwide 17 million. Did people wanted Michael Myers back? You know, people was still sour on Season of the Witch. I've come to really like that film a lot as a separate entity in the franchise.
I love
of course, it's a great Halloween film in general. But people were happy to see the return of this character, other than what Victim and others have mentioned here in the chat, that the mask wasn't the greatest idea. Again, you can say it's almost like a shoestring, really quick to do a script, like say 11 days, you know, to do all this stuff. Yeah. And sure enough, we got something. We got almost like a Sleepaway Camp 2, right? You know, you get something like that from it, from these films. So it just works during this decade too, the late 80s. And I do. I like it a lot. I'll go first. My score, I give it's a solid 7 to 7.5 out of 10 for me. I do like this film.
I'm the same. I just got to mention, so Ellie Cornell, she beat out Melissa Joan Hart and Jennifer Aniston for the role of Rachel.
Aniston would be very interesting. I'm shocked because, when did she do Leprechaun?
That was what? So this is 88. Leprechaun.
What, 90?
91, 90, something like that.
90, yeah, because she disavows that shit. She doesn't talk about it. So,
but I'm the same as you, man. And I might change actually with this one. So I would say it's definitely like a 7.5. But you know, it's got possibilities to go up to an 8 for me. I was surprised how much I liked it this time.
Me too. This is a great release from Scream Factory and stuff like that too, as we know what's going on with them and stuff like that. There's rumors that Arrow's done some restorations for this. This one being one of them and stuff like that. But this is a great 4K. This is a great transfer. This is the best I've seen the film look. It's very good. Highly recommend it.
You didn't get the box set when it came out. Then you was
no. That was before I was kind of really into this stuff and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too late for you to. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the original kind of, like I said, with the Divimax one. Yeah, this one right here and stuff like that, which just seems to work wise. And then, of course, with this one too, they kind of changed it up a little bit. But this one I kind of like the cover the best for. The UDs knew what they were doing. So.
But we'll definitely come back to the series at some point, you know. I definitely want to do 6. Not, I don't know so much about 5 actually, but I want to do 6, and I want to.
Oh, we'll do 6. We'll do 6 in a future stream, maybe sometime next year and stuff like that. We always plan this stuff out. So definitely two bangers. Definitely recommend both of these. These are very good. This was a fun one, just in time for the spooky season. We're a couple days away, people. So. Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Definitely. I recommend both of these slashers for this time of year. It just works. You know what I mean? I do like 5 to your point, but you can't go wrong with them. Very good. So, Darren, what do you have going on with you and Dirk's channel and Subjective Perspective Collective and all the other great channels that you're a part of, like Visited by Voices and Flesh Wound Features, you know, Big Dan doing that stuff, Last Drive-In.
Yeah, Region 3, man. So Sunday we got a really special show actually. So we're going to be doing a deep dive on The Exorcist, and we're going to have Lorne Dixon from Visited by Voices Network on.
Absolutely.
Can't wait for that. I think that's going to be like, it's going to be amazing. I think. Then on the Tuesday next week, I'm going to be doing a stream on Jay Reel's channel. And I've given him 3 like Giallo Italian films to watch. So one of them was Torso, Your Voice is a Lot Room, and Night Train Murders. And I know that Jay actually likes all 3, but he won't tell me everything he thinks about them until Tuesday. I'm not sure if I'm going to do something with Dan later on that week as well.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
The Dead End Driving. But yeah, so keep an eye for them, man.
Yeah, just my side, of course, on this channel, Black Love Reviews. If you like what you see here, like, subscribe, you know, do whatever you like to do and stuff like that. I plan on doing more video slasher Saturdays, you know, Giallo show and tell, all that stuff, future slasher streams. Of course, with Darren, we have some stuff planned ahead. Our podcast, Black Love Reviews podcast and stuff. We're going to be talking next episode for that one. We're going to be talking about more hospital massacres and Schizoid and X-Ray. And so pay attention to that bad boy too. We have other content planned on this channel too. So just pay attention and you know, keep your eyes out and stuff like that. We all keep you updated. This is a great community, and really the slasher stream here and Black Love Reviews and over Darren Dirk's channel and stuff like that. Every day is Halloween, really. But
exactly.
Hey man, just be safe trick-or-treating out there, everybody. I'd see you all in Disneyland. Thank you all for watching. Check out the replay if you want. And like I say, in the comment sections, just mention what's your thoughts on the franchise in general of Halloween, and what are your favorite Halloween films too to watch this time of year. We both really appreciate it. So
happy Halloween, everyone. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, happy Halloween. You all take care. And as my boy Pug says, I'll see you at MFers in Disneyland. You all take care. Be careful walking those streets out on Halloween. The black one is out there. And happy Halloween, everybody. You all have a great evening. Take care. And rest in peace, Guy, too. Love you, man. See you when I see you.